Long ago, in the myths of the Norse, in the shining realm of Asgard where the gods dwelled, there was a name that carried both awe and fear, Loki. They called him the trickster god, clever, quick-witted, cunning, but also treacherous and dangerous. Loki was never like the other gods of Asgard. He was born of giants, not divine royalty, yet Odin, the all-father and king of Asgard, accepted him as a blood brother and allowed him to live among the gods. But Loki was never one to sit still. He was like fire sometimes, warm and useful, other times wild and destructive. And it was this very nature that led to one of the greatest tragedies in Norse mythology. In days that seemed peaceful in Asgard, Odin was plagued by strange visions. Night after night he dreamt of three terrifying figures, a massive serpent writhing in the darkness, a corpse half living and half rotten, and finally a wolf, eyes burning like fire, jaws so wide they could swallow the sky itself. These dreams were no ordinary nightmares. Odin, wise as he was, knew they were omens. Soon the truth revealed itself. Loki, though married in Asgard, had been secretly visiting a giantess named Angrboda. And from this secret union, 3 children were born children whose appearances matched exactly the horrors of Odin's dreams. The first was Jormungandr, the great serpent whose venom could kill even gods. The second was Hel, a girl whose right side was fair and beautiful, but whose left was decayed like a corpse. And the third a Wolfpup with eyes gleaming with a strange fire, Fenrir. Odin trembled. He knew these children were no ordinary beings. They carried the weight of doom itself. Without hesitation, Odin commanded Thor and Tyr to bring them from Jotunheim to Asgard. When the 3 stood before his throne, the gods recoiled in fear. Odin wasted no time. He hurled Jormungandr into the deepest seas, where the serpent would grow so large it encircled the entire world. Hel, he banished to the underworld, where she became queen of the dead. But when it came to Fenrir, Odin hesitated. The wolf was small still, but Odin saw in his eyes a terrible future, a beast destined to devour him. Yet killing the cub outright felt too cruel, too dangerous. So instead, Odin made a fateful choice. He allowed Fenrir to remain in Asgard, where the gods could watch him. Day by day, Fenrir grew with frightening speed. From a pup to a beast, his roars shook the heavens. Yet strangely, only one god dared approach him, Tyr, the god of war and justice. Tyr fed him, played with him, and slowly a bond formed. To Fenrir, Tyr was a friend. To Tyr, Fenrir was not a monster, but a soul burdened with a destiny he could not escape. Still, Odin's fear grew. He worried that one day Fenrir would become unstoppable. So he devised a plan. He would test the wolf's strength with chains. The first chain was massive, heavy, forged of solid iron. The gods laughed and mocked, daring Fenrir to break it. The wolf agreed. With one mighty heave, the chain shattered like dry twigs. The gods fell silent and Odin's fear deepened. The second chain was even greater, twice as thick, twice as strong. Fenrir narrowed his eyes, then allowed himself to be bound once more. With a single violent pull, he ripped it apart into shards. The gods stared in dread. No metal in the world could hold him. Desperate, Odin turned to the dwarves, the greatest craftsmen in the cosmos. They did not forge with steel or iron. Instead, they gathered the most impossible ingredients: the sound of a cat's footsteps, the breath of a fish, the roots of a mountain, the sinews of a bear, the spittle of a bird. From these they wove Gleipnir, an enchanted ribbon, soft as silk, yet stronger than any chain. When Fenrir saw it, he laughed. A ribbon that thin? How could it restrain him? But deep within he sensed a trick. Suspicion gnawed at him. So he made a demand. He would only agree to be bound if one of the gods placed a hand in his mouth as a pledge of good faith. The gods fell silent. None dared. Who would risk their arm in the jaws of the beast? The silence grew heavy, until Tyr stepped forward. Without complaint, without hesitation, he laid his right hand inside Fenrir's mouth. Seeing this, Fenrir agreed. They wrapped him in Gleipnir. And when he strained, something was wrong. The ribbon held. The more he struggled, the tighter it grew. Fenrir thrashed, howled, clawed, but nothing worked. Realizing the gods had deceived him, fury consumed him. With a violent snap, he bit down, severing Tyr's hand. Bound and raging, Fenrir was chained to a great rock. A sword was wedged between his jaws to keep them open, and his saliva flowed into a roaring river. He howled endlessly, swearing that one day he would break free, and when he did, he would kill Odin and burn Asgard to ashes. And the prophecies were clear. At Ragnarok, the final battle, Fenrir would shatter his bonds, grow vast and terrible, and fulfill his destiny. He would swallow Odin whole, bringing the doom that the All-Father had feared from the beginning. The tale of Loki and Fenrir is not just a myth of gods and monsters. It is a reminder that fate cannot be escaped. The more Odin tried to avoid his visions, the closer he drew to them. And Fenrir, once a creature capable of loyalty, was turned into a symbol of betrayal, rage, and destiny's cruel hand. So what do you think? Was Odin wrong to choose trickery over trust? Or was it simply the wheel of fate turning unstoppable? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next mythic tale.